It's up to verse 10 initially, Ananda Leela.
Okay, yes, Mataji. Shri Nityananda Chandram Patita Sharanadam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shirvasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9. Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. Brahmovacha. Gyantosi midya suchirananu deha bhajam na gyayate bhagavato gatiritti avadyam nanyatvadashti bhagavan apitanna sudham maya guna vyatikaradya durur vibhashi.
Lord Brahma said, "O my Lord, today, after many, many years of penance, I have come to know about you. Oh, how unfortunate the embodied living entities are that they are unable to know your personality. My Lord, you are the only knowable object because there is nothing supreme beyond you. If there is anything supposedly superior to you, it is not the absolute. You exist as the supreme by exhibiting the creative energy of matter."
Rupam yateta tava buddharasodayena sasvan nivritta tamasaha sadanugrahaya adau grahitam avatara sateka bijam yanna bhipadma bhavanadahama virasham.
The form which I see, eternally freed from material contamination and has invented to show mercy to the devotees as a manifestation of internal potency. The incarnation is the origin of many other incarnations, and I am born from the lotus flower grown from your navel home.
Natah param paramayat bhavatah swarupam anandamatram vikalpam aviddhavarchah pashyami vishvasrajam ekam avisham atman bhutendriyatmakam upashritosmi.
O my Lord, I do not see a form superior to your present form of eternal bliss and knowledge. In your impersonal Brahman effulgence in the spiritual sky, there is no occasional change and no deterioration of internal potency. I surrender unto you because whereas I am proud of my material body and senses, your Lordship is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and yet you are untouched by matter.
Tadva idam bhuvana mangala mangalaya dhyane smano darshitam ta upasakanam tasmai namo bhagavate nuvidhe matubhyam yona drito naraka bhagbhirasat prasangai.
This present form, or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotees meditate, I therefore offer respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculating on material topics.
ये तु त्वदीयचरणाम्बुजकोशगन्धं जिघ्रन्ति कर्णविवरैः श्रुतिवातनीतं भक्त्या गृहीतचरणः परया च तेषां नापैसि नाथ हृदयाम्बुरुहात् स्वपुंसाम्.
O my Lord, persons who smell the aroma of your lotus feet, carried by the air of Vedic sound through the holes of the ears, accept your devotional service. For them, you are never separated from the lotus of their hearts.
तावद्भयं द्रविणा देहसुहीन्निमित्तं शोकः स्पृहा परिभवो विपुलश्च लोभः तावन्ममेति यशद् अवग्रहार्तिमूलं यावन्न तेऽग्रिमभयं प्रवृणीतलोकः.
O my Lord, the people of the world are embarrassed by all material anxieties. They are always afraid. They always try to protect wealth, body, and friends. They are filled with lamentation and unlawful desires and paraphernalia, and they avariciously base their undertakings on the perishable conceptions of my and mine. As long as they do not take shelter of your safe lotus feet, they are full of such anxieties.
दैवेन ते हतधियो भवतः प्रसंगात् सर्वाशुभोपशमनात् विमुखेन्द्रियाये कुर्वन्ति कामसुख विशलवायदीना लोभाभिभूतमनसो कुशलानि शश्वत्.
O my Lord, persons who are bereft of all the auspicious performance of chanting and hearing about your transcendental activities are certainly unfortunate and are also bereft of good sense. They engage in inauspicious activities, enjoying sense gratification for a very little while.
क्षुत्रिधातुभिरिमा मुहुरर्द्यमानाः शीतोष्णवातवरसरितरितराच च कामायियाच्युतरुषा च सुदुर्भरेण सम्पश्यतो मनोरुक्रमसि दत्ते मे.
O great actor, my Lord, all these poor creatures are constantly perplexed by hunger, thirst, severe cold, secretion, and bile, attacked by coughing, winter, blasting summer rains, and many other disturbing elements, and overwhelmed by strong sex urges and indefatigable anger. I take pity on them, and am very much aggrieved for them.
यावत् पृथक्त्वमिदम् आत्मनैद्रियार्थ मायाबलं भगवतो जनैष पश्येत् तावन्न संस्कृतिरशुप्रतिसंक्रमेत व्यर्थापि दुःखनिवाहं वहति क्रियार्था.
O my Lord, the material miseries are without factual existence for the soul. Yet as long as the conditioned soul sees the body as meant for sense enjoyment, he cannot get out of the entanglement of material miseries, being influenced by your external energy.
अहनी अप्रीतार्थकरणानि शिनिहसयाना नाना मनोरथ दिह्या क्षणभग्ननिद्राः दैवाहतार्थरचना ऋषयोऽपि देव युष्मत्प्रसङ्गविमुखा इह संसरन्ति.
Such non-devotees engage their senses in very troublesome and extensive work, and they suffer insomnia at night because their intelligence constantly breaks their sleep with various mental speculations. They are frustrated in all their various plans by supernatural power. Even great sages, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world.
Very interesting that, especially this last slok, even great sages, if they're against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this material world. Okay, let's have a quick look at the summary of these first 10 verses. So the chapter is entitled Brahma's Prayers for Creative Energy. So if we recall in the previous chapters, Lord Brahma was born from the lotus that stems from the navel of the Lord. And on top of the lotus is the flower. And on top of that, Lord Brahma is created. He's the first created being. He's the unborn one in one sense, because he's sort of manifested from the Lord's potency. He didn't have a mother and father. He was created by the Lord directly. But yet, he was still in ignorance. He didn't know how to create. He knew he had to do something, but he didn't know what. So he meditated on the Lord. And through his meditation, eventually the Lord guided him and also gave him spiritual knowledge, jnana. Brahma establishes the all-merciful Lord as supreme, appreciating the opportunities to take shelter of him. So this is very important. We don't know how lucky we are to be engaged in bhakti yoga. It's just incredible. And especially today, on Ekadashi day, to read the Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very auspicious, extremely auspicious. We're very fortunate to have such a competent reciter of the Bhagavatam, Ananda Leela, beautifully reciting these verses. So we have to appreciate, this is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. What qualifies us to do this? Nothing except his kindness. So we're very, very lucky. We have to appreciate this fortune. Brahma glorifies the Lord's eternal form, which is full of bliss and knowledge. And it's free from any material contamination. The Lord, he's got nothing to do with this world. He's a creator, yet he's got no connection with it. So, and Brahma says that those who hear of his lotus feet from the Vedas accept his devotional service. So we're very lucky. The Bhagavatam is regarded to be a natural commentary of the Vedas, of the Vedanta. So we, by reading the Bhagavatam, are actually engaging in bhakti, devotional service, directly onto his lotus feet. For them, for the devotees, he is never separated from the lotus of their hearts. So we have to get to that position, right? That's not an easy task, but somehow or other, we have to make that endeavor. We have to beg for it. We have to really aspire for getting him into the lotus of our hearts. Brahma laments for those who neglect Krishna's shelter and thus perpetually suffer material miseries due to their attachment to the perishable conceptions of my and mine. So this attachment is what's going to keep us in this world. If we have attachments to material world, our possessions, our family, our friends, whatever it may be, that will keep us in this world. So how do we become detached? And well, the only way is to become attached to the Supreme Lord and his bhakti. To wherever there is an opportunity to serve, we're there, greedy for that seva, greedy for that service. That is what's going to save us, because that attachment will destroy all of our material attachments and it'll establish the Lord in the lotus of our hearts. So this is really, these prayers of Lord Brahma are very powerful for us. So, okay, let's carry on. Next is up to verse number 19.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, got it.
Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hit saroja aseshu tekshita patho nanunatha pumsam yad yadhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tat tadvapuh pranayase sad anugrahaya.
O my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts become cleansed, and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you.
नाति प्रसीदति तथोपसितोपचारे आराधितः सुरगणे हृदि बद्धकामैः यत्सर्वभूतदयया सकलभ्यैको नानाजनेष्ववहितः सुहृदन्तरात्मा.
My Lord, you are not very much satisfied by the worship of the demigods, who arrange for your worship very pompously, with various paraphernalia, but who are full of material hankerings. You are situated in everyone's heart as the Supersoul, just to show your causeless mercy, and you are the eternal well-wisher, but you are unavailable for the non-devotees.
पुंसामतो विविद्धकर्माभिरध्वराद्ये दानेन चोग्रतपस्सा परिचर्यया च आराधनं भगवतस्तव सत्क्रियार्थो धर्मोऽर्पितः कर्हिचित् म्रियते न यत्र.
But the pious activities of the people, such as performance of Vedic rituals, charity, austere penances, and transcendental service, performed with a view to worship you and satisfy you by offering you the fruitive results, are also beneficial. Such acts of religion never go in vain.
शाश्वत स्वरूप महासेवनिपित्त भेद मोहाय बोध दिशानाय नमः परस्मै विश्वोद्भव स्थितिलये सुनिमित्त लीला रासाय ते नमैदं चक्रमेश्वराय.
Let me offer my obeisances unto the supreme transcendence, who is eternally distinguished by his internal potency. His indistinguishable impersonal feature is realized by intelligence for self-realization. I offer my obeisances unto him, who by his pastimes enjoys the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation.
यस्यावतार गुण कर्म विदंबनानि नामानि येषु विगमे विवशा गृह्णन्ति तेनैक जन्म स्मरं सहसैव हित्वा सम्यान्ति अपावृतामृतं तमजं प्रपद्ये.
Let me take shelter of the lotus feet of him whose incarnations, qualities, and activities are mysterious imitations of worldly affairs. One who invokes his transcendental names, even unconsciously, at the time he quits this life, is certainly washed immediately of the sins of many, many births and attains him without fail.
यो वा अहं च गिरिशश्च विभु स्वयं च स्थिति उद्भव प्रलय हेतवात्ममूलं भीत्वा त्रिपाद्वृद्धै कौरु प्ररोहस् Tasmai namo bhagavate bhuvanadrumaya.
Your lordship is the prime root of the tree of the planetary systems. This tree has grown by first penetrating the material nature in three trunks, as me, Shiva, and you, the Almighty for creation, maintenance, and dissolution, and we three have grown with many branches. Therefore, I offer my obeisances unto you, the tree of the cosmic manifestation.
Loko vikarmani rataha kushale pramattaha karmani ayam tvaduditte bhavadarchani swe yattavadasya balavaniha jivitasham sadyaschinati animisaya namostu tasmai.
People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time.
Yashmad bhibhemi ahamapi dviparadhadhisnyam adhyasitah sakala lokanamaskritam yat tepe tapo bahusavu varurut samanas tasmai namo bhagavate dhimakhaya tubhyam.
Your lordship, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are indefatigable, time, and the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Although I am situated in an abode which will continue to exist for a time duration of 2 pararitas, although I am the leader of all other planets in the universe, and although I have undergone many, many years of penance for self-realization, still I offer my respects unto you.
Tiryan manushya vibudhadisu jivayonisva atme chayatma krita setu paripsayayaha reme nirasta vishayopi avarutha dehas tasmai namo bhagavate purushottamaya.
O my Lord, by your own will you appear in the various species of living entities, among animals lower than human beings as well as among the demigods, to perform your transcendental pastimes. You are not affected by material contamination. You come just to fulfill the obligations of your own principles of religion. And therefore, O Supreme Personality, I offer my obeisances unto you for manifesting such different forms.
Thank you. So, Hare Krishna. Brahma's prayers describing the Lord's mercy, how the Lord can be seen through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing. So often we get people who will say, show me God. I don't believe you. Show me. Then I'll believe you. Well, do you have the eyes, the divine eyes to see the Lord? And if you had, you can see him everywhere and anywhere. But actually the process to see God is through the ears, through transcendental knowledge, through bona fide hearing, which means one listens from the right source, the right scripture, the right spiritual guide, spiritual master. And when one does that, through the ears, by hearing about God, about Krishna, about the Supreme Lord, then one can become self-realized. Then one can see by the ears. And also how the Lord resides in his devotees' hearts in the form they desire. So this is the beauty of the Lord. He will submit himself to our desires. So if we want to serve him in a particular way, he will manifest himself in that way so that the devotees' hearts are fulfilled, their desires are fulfilled. So this is the most incredible thing about the Lord. That's why there's so many forms of the Lord. Often people ask, even our own community, people ask, why is there so many forms of the Lord? Well, he wants to fulfill our desires. This is his kindness. It might be confusing because one God, many forms. But don't let that be an excuse for you to deride the religion, the process. This is the Lord's kindness, that he is allowing himself to be subjugated to his devotees' desires. So he takes form, like the last verse we read. He can take form in so many different species of life, no problem. So Brahma glorifies the Lord, taking shelter of him. The Lord is not so pleased with the devatas who worship him for material benefits. Whenever they have difficulty, they pray to the Lord, please protect us. That is wanting something material. But the devotees, they will never pray, please protect my body, please protect my wealth. They will simply pray, let me engage in your seva, whatever it is, wherever it is. If it's in this body, fine. If it's in another body, fine. Let me engage in your service. He's always happy with the devotees because of that mood of the devotees. And the Lord is unavailable to the non-devotees. He won't make himself accessible, but he is neutral. He won't stand in any way's way to become his devotee. That's how he's neutral. So, but if you're not a devotee, he treats you differently from if you are a devotee. That's natural. Just like a mother and father will treat the children in the same way. But if they behave differently, they will be treated differently. So this is the point. The parents will love the children equally, but treat them according to their behavior. And the Lord, he also acts as time to foil all plans of materialistic people. So there's a saying that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. He will have a good laugh because he's got his own plans. So time will destroy everything. That's a fact. So no matter how much we try to enjoy in this world, no matter how much wealth or possessions that we have in this world, they will be destroyed. Without a doubt, time destroys everything. And the Lord takes the form of time to destroy it all. So rather than accumulate lots of possessions, we should accumulate lots of bhakti. That will last forever. It will never be destroyed. The Lord has no power to destroy bhakti. Bhakti is more powerful than the Lord. That means Srimati Radharani is more powerful than Krishna because she is the emblem of bhakti. So this is really fantastic philosophy. Yeah. So let's, where are we? Up to text number 26, please, Anandalila.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yo vidyayānupahatopi dasādhavritya nidramuvaha jathari krittalokayatraha antarjalehi kashipu sparshanāmukulam bhimormimalini janasya sukham vivrinvan.
My Lord, you accept the pleasure of sleeping in the water of devastation, where there are violent waves, and you enjoy pleasure on the bed of snakes, showing the happiness of your sleep to intelligent persons. At that time, all the universal planets are stationed within your abdomen.
यन्नाभिपद्मभवनादहमासमीड्य लोकत्रयोपकरणो यद् अनुग्रहेण तस्मै नमस्त उदर स्थभवाय योग निद्रावसान विकषन्नलिनेक्षणाय.
O object of my worship, I am born from the house of your lotus navel for the purpose of creating the universe by your mercy. All these planets of the universe were stationed within your transcendental abdomen while you were enjoying sleep. Now, your sleep having ended, your eyes are open like blossoming lotuses in the morning.
सोऽयं समस्तजगतां सुहृदेकात्मा सद्वेन यन्मृदयते भगवान् भगेन तनैव मेदृशं मनुपृषताद्यथाहं स्रक्ष्यामि पूर्ववदिदं प्रणता प्रियोऽसो.
Let the Supreme Lord be merciful towards me. He is the one friend and soul of all living entities in the world, and he maintains all for their ultimate happiness by his 6 transcendental opulences. May he be merciful towards me so that I, as before, may be empowered with the introspection to create, for I am also one of the surrendered souls who are dear to the Lord.
ईशा प्रपन्नवरदो रमयात्मसत्या यद् यत् करिष्यति ग्रहीतगुणवतारः तस्मै स्वविक्रमम् इदं सृजतोऽपि चेतो युञ्जीत कर्म समलं च यथा विजह्याम्.
The Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through his internal potency, Brahma, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in his service in the creation of the material world, and I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the creator.
नाभिहृदादिहसतुम्भस्य पुंसो विज्ञानशक्तिरहमासमनन्तशक्तेः रूपं विचित्रमिदं मत्स्य विवृण्वतो मे मारीरिसिस्तनिगमस्य गिरां विसर्गः.
The Lord's potencies are innumerable. As he lies down in the water of devastation, I am born as the total universal energy from the navel lake in which the lotus sprouts. I am now engaged in manifesting his diverse energies in the form of the cosmic manifestation. I therefore pray that in the course of my material activities, I may not be deviated from the vibration of the Vedic hymns.
अधभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेम स्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहानि विजृम्भन् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय चनु विषादं माध्व्या गिरापनयातात् पुरुषः पुराणः.
The Lord, who is supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions.
मैत्रेय उवाच स्वसम्भवं निशाम्येवं Tapo vidya samadhibhihi yavan mano vachah studva virarama sakhinavat.
The sage Maitreya said, O Vidur, after observing the source of his appearance, namely the personality of Godhead, Brahma prayed for his mercy as far as his mind and words would permit him. Thus, having prayed, he became silent, as if tired from his activities of penance, knowledge, and mental concentration.
Okay, thank you. So, Brahma begs mercy. Praying to the Lord for the ability to create, Brahma begs the Lord to protect him from fall down due to pride and deviation. So this is a problem. When we have some ability and we think that this ability is our ability, then the false ego grows. But if we think that this ability given is a gift from God, and we can use that gift from God in his service, then that is proper situation. Then we are situated properly. Otherwise, we fall into this trap of I did this, my ability, I am the doer. So Lord Brahma, the topmost living being, can imagine the responsibilities and the ability that he has to carry out those responsibilities. He prays, begs the Lord, please, please protect me so I don't fall down due to my pride. He prayed that the Lord uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions. This is really very powerful. Good prayers, very nice prayers for us to remember. So now up to verse number 36, please.
अथाभिप्रेतम् अन्वीक्ष्य ब्रह्मणो मधुसूदनः विषण्ण चेतसं तेन कल्पव्यतिकराम्भसा लोकसंस्थानविज्ञाय आत्मनः परिखीद्यतः तम् आहगाधया वाचा कश्मलं समयन्निव.
The Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary systems and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in deep, thoughtful words, removing all the illusion that had arisen.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ma Veda Garbhagastandrim Sarga Udyamamavaha Tanmaya Paditam Yagre Yanmam Prarthayate Bhavan.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead then said, O Brahma, O depth of Vedic wisdom, be neither depressed nor anxious about the execution of creation. For what you are begging from me has already been granted before.
Bhuyastvam tapa atistha vidyam chaiva madashayam tabhyam antarhirdi brahman lokan drakshasi apavritan.
O Brahma, situate yourself in penance and meditation and follow the principles of knowledge to receive my favor. By these actions, you will be able to understand everything from within your heart.
Tata atmani loke cha bhakti yuktah samahitah drashta shimam tatam brahman mayi lokam stvamatmanah.
O Brahma, when you are absorbed in devotional service, in the course of your creative activities, you will see me in you and throughout the universe. and you will see that you yourself, the universe, and the living entities are all in me.
Yada tu sarvabhuteshu darusvagnim sthitam pratichakshitamam loko jahyat tarhiva kashmalam.
You will see me in all living entities as well as all over the universe, just as fire is situated in wood. Only in that state of transcendental vision will you be able to be free from all kinds of illusion.
Yada rahitam atmanam bhutendriya gunasayeh swarupena mayopetam pashyan swarajyam richati.
When you are free from the conception of gross and subtle bodies, and when your senses are free from all influences of the modes of material nature, you will realize your pure form in my association. At that time, you will be situated in pure consciousness.
Nana karma vitanena praja bahavih sisrikshataha natma vasidati asminste varshiyan mad anugraha.
Since you have desired to increase the population innumerably and expand your varieties of service, you shall never be deprived in this matter, because my causeless mercy upon you will always increase for all time.
Rashim adyam na badhnati papiyam stvam rajo gunaha yanmanomayi nirbadham prajaha samsrijjato pite.
You are the original Rishi, and because your mind is always fixed on me, even though you will be engaged in generating various progeny, and vicious mode of passion will never encroach upon you.
Jnantoham bhavata tvadya durvinyeyopi dehinam yanmam tvam manyaste yuktam bhutendriya gunatmabhihi.
Although I am not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know that my personality is not constituted of anything material, and specifically not of the 5 gross and 3 subtle elements.
So, seeing Brahma is anxious and depressed due to seeing the water of devastation, the Lord reassures him what he is begging for has already been granted. That by practicing penance and meditation in devotional service, he would gain transcendental vision, self-realization, being able to create and be protected from illusion. So everything that Brahma has wanted, he's already granted. And the same will be for us. Any prayers that we have, they will already be granted. Even if they're after material gains and whatever else, they will already be granted. It's just a question of time separating. This is the kindness of the Supreme Lord. But we should be careful not to ask for material benedictions. Asking for spiritual benedictions like wanting to see him, wanting to serve him, that's all fine because that's in this transcendental realm. And that will be automatically granted. He will have made, because he knows what's in our heart, he'll make arrangements accordingly. So he knew what was in Brahma's heart, which was creation. That was his job. That's why he took birth. But he also saw Brahma being depressed, and the waters of devastation are pretty heavy. We saw that recently in the pastimes of Markandeya Rishi in the 12th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. how Markandeya Rishi wanted to see the Lord's illusionary energy, which was a mistake for him to ask, because the Lord showed him. And it was extremely difficult for millions of years. But that's what the Lord, he wanted to see that, so the Lord showed him. So we know how difficult the illusory energy of the Lord is. So Lord Brahma is depressed because of that. But the Lord assures him, don't worry. Don't worry. By practicing your penance and meditation in bhakti, you will get transcendental knowledge. I will tell you who you are and who I am. And you'll be protected from illusion. The Lord also advises that when he is free from the bodily conception, and when his senses are free from the influences of the modes of mature nature, he will realize his spiritual form. So that applies to us as well. At that time, he will be situated in pure consciousness. He is also assured that Rajagun will not bind him, even though he is engaged in creation. Creation means Rajagun. And Lord Brahma is the Gunavatar in charge of moral passion. And he's a Jiva soul, so he may well get influenced by the Rajagun. So the Lord assures him, don't worry, the Rajagun will not bind you, even though you're acting in creation. The Lord also states, although I am not easily knowable by the conditioned soul, you have known me today because you know my personality is not constituted of anything material. So this is very important to understand, that the Lord is pure spiritual, transcendental. So now it's right to the end. So thank you. Okay, yeah, that's it. Good.
तुभ्यं मद्विचिकित्सायाम् आत्मा मे दर्शितो बहिः नालेन शलिले मूलं पुष्करस्य विचिन्वतः.
When you were contemplating whether there was a source to the stem of the lotus of your birth, and you even entered into the stem, you could not trace out anything, but at that time I manifested my form from within.
यच्चकर्ताङ्गमत्स्तोत्रं मत्कथाभ्युदयाङ्कितं यद्वा तपस्सि ते निष्ठा स एष मद् अनुग्रहः.
O Brahma, the prayers that you have chanted, praising the glories of my transcendental activities, the penances you have undertaken to understand me, and your firm faith in me, all these are to be considered my causeless mercy.
प्रीतोऽहम् अस्तु भद्रं ते लोकानां विजये च या यद् अष्टोऽस्तिर्गुणमयं निर्गुणं मानुवर्णयन्.
I am very much pleased by your description of me in terms of my transcendental qualities, which appear mundane to the mundaners. I grant you all benedictions in your desire to glorify all the planets by your activities.
या एतेन पुमान् नित्यं स्तुत्वा स्तोत्रेण मां भजेत् तस्य संप्रसीदेयं सर्वकामवरेश्वरः.
Any human being who prays like Brahma and who thus worships me shall very soon be blessed with the fulfillment of all his desires, for I am the Lord of all benediction.
पूर्तेन तपसा यज्ञैर्दानैर्योगसमाधिना राधं निःश्रेयसं पुंसां मत्प्रीतिस्तत्त्वविन्मतम्.
It is the opinion of expert transcendentalists that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penances, sacrifices, charities, mystic activities, trances, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction.
Aham atmatmanam dhatah preshtah san prayasamapi ato mayi ratim kuryat dehadir krite priyaha.
I am the super soul of every individual. I am the supreme director and the dearest. People are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle bodies, but they should be attached to me only.
Sarva Veda Mayenidam Atmanatman Yogina Prajaha Srija Yatha Purvam Yascha Mayi Anusirate.
By following my instructions, you can now generate the living entities as before by dint of your complete Vedic wisdom and the body you have directly received from me, the supreme cause of everything.
Maitreya Uvacha Tasma evam jagat srastre pradhana purusheshwaraha vyajidam svena rupena kanjana bhastiro dadhe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The sage Maitreya said, after instructing Brahma, the creator of the universe, to expand the primeval Lord, the personality of Godhead in his personal form as Narayana disappeared. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Well done. Fantastic. So the Lord assures Brahma that by his causeless mercy, Lord's causeless mercy, Brahma was able to offer praise, perform penance, and attain firm faith in him. So we shouldn't think if we are doing any seva that it's because of us. It's the kindness of the Lord allowing us to do it. The Lord then offered Brahma all benedictions, which are also open to anyone who will offer prayers and worship the Lord as Brahma did. This isn't just for the intellectuals or the the smart people, the beautiful people. It's for everybody, anybody who offers prayers to the Lord. The Lord is open to them. The ultimate goal of performing all transcendental good works, the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penances, sacrifices, charities, mystic activities, trances, etc., is to invoke the Lord's satisfaction. This is the whole purpose. If we're doing it for anything else, then we've been misguided. We want to do bhakti to please the Lord, to satisfy the Lord. However, unfortunately, people are wrongly attached to the gross and subtle bodies, but they should be attached to the Lord only. Not easy, of course, because we've been so conditioned to a certain way of living in this world, in the next world. The samskars will follow us, our karmas will follow us. But somehow, through transcendental knowledge, through kindness of the devotees, we have to have this revolution take place within our heart, so that instead of being attached to ordinary mundane things, we become attached to the Supreme Lord only. After instructing Brahma in this way, the Lord disappeared. He went back to his the spiritual realm. So that's the end of chapter 9 of Canto 3. Surinder, anything you'd like to share, please?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhu and all Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Nityananda Chandram Patita Sharanadam Gauradam Tam Bhajeham. Yes, very interesting, Prabhu. The prayers of Lord Brahma expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam here. And very elaborately, the prayers of Lord Brahma is mentioned in Brahma Samhita. And it is highly recommended to recite the prayers Lord Brahma offered to Lord Govinda, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it is mentioned by our Gurudev as follows. It says, Brahma Samhita, this jewel of holy books, as the elixir of life of all such blessed souls, will fortify them more and more. So this recitation of prayers following the footsteps of our great grand spiritual master, Lord Brahma. So it will fortify more and more our Krishna consciousness and make us have firm faith in Krishna consciousness. So this way we are encouraged to offer prayers like Brahma Samhita prayers. And here in this Bhagavatam chapter, Lord Brahma is reciting prayers, so these ones as well, inclusive Srimad Bhagavatam. This whole Srimad Bhagavatam is spiritual and transcendental. And yes, so it is for our own benefit. We therefore take shelter of this recitation of prayers unto the Supreme Person of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna, like that. And we beg for the mercy following the footsteps of Lord Brahma. So our prayer is that may the merciful glance of Lord Sri Radha Krishna, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, always be bestowed upon us, because we are all fallen conditioned souls. And as mentioned in Bhagavatam here, is the Lord himself is explaining that we should be attached to him, like to devotional service and to Sri Guru Gauranga Radhasham Sundar Giridhari Ju. And then gradually our attachment for the material things will gradually fade away by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much. Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? I'd like to thank Ananda Leela, beautifully reciting the Bhagavatam and
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's all the grace of the Lord.
yeah, no, well done.
Hare Krishna.
Well done, well done. We were trying with you, but we couldn't match anything what you did. So fantastic. Thank you. So we can stop this recording. Srimad Bhagavatam ki